Okay, I'm on a video pretty much at least 3 times a week, so this is a cakewalk for me. But here's my vision of why I got involved with Billy Jean, the Genius Organization. Now, I've followed him for several years. I bought some of his products here and there. This is the first time I fully committed to doing some coursework through him, and we'll see if it was worth the money or not. But let's go to the vision. I started a company roughly about 6 years ago. I currently have a healthcare agency that provides staffing in different special modalities of care, be it RNs, therapists, occupational therapists, whatever. We provide that to hospitals and facilities. It's a very profitable business. So if I don't do anything with this, I'm still good. So I say that to let you know I'm not motivated by the money. I'm good. I don't need that. That's not why I did this. I was born in 1964. A black man in America. I've gone through some extraordinary experiences, especially when it comes to money. People doing business with you, you doing business with them. You know, the higher you go up, the funkier it gets. I'll put it like that. So I was thinking 6 years ago, man, I want to do something to help people realize that they don't have to work these jobs. They don't have to be a wage slave to someone else. So I created this thing called Business Builders Alliance. I said, what's the easiest thing in the world for people to sell? And I thought about it. I said, the whole people are in business is they're trying to make money. That was it. And I said, well, why not sell money? So I started a company that I can train you how to find opportunities for lending. Now, I did that prior to COVID. Things were going well, and then COVID shut the whole thing down. So about 4 or 5 months ago, I said, hey, let me crank that thing back up again. Well, the world's changed. And that's one of the problems as a person that's in the boomer generation. 1964 is significant because it's the year the Civil Rights Act was signed into law. It was also the year that I believe it's the 25th Amendment that prohibits poll taxing. And, President Kennedy was shot the year before. And then soon to come, there'll be a couple other figures that were significant that are going to be assassinated. So I'm growing up in this world. It's really interesting to me because I see the whole revolution. We're right back to where I started at the end of my life, But anyway, I digress because this is only supposed to be 2 minutes. Anyway, I started Business Builders Alliance because I wanted to let my people know, anybody know that, hey, you can do it. If it's to be, it's up to you. Stop depending on the government. Stop depending on your friends and family. Stop depending on some total stranger to be charitable and help you. Because nobody helps anybody until you help yourself. That's just how it works. Rich people get money because I know it's crazy, but banks only loan money to people who have the ability to pay it back. Not poor people. And I heard sometime in the air years ago, well, gee, if the government doesn't want people on welfare, why aren't we educating people how to be entrepreneurs? Why aren't we educating people how to make money? And I always wondered that. But at 61, I know why. Because you don't create your own competition when you got a monopoly out there. Okay? That's why. So everybody who's involved in any entrepreneur pursuits realize they hate you. Because you're coming for their money. Anyway, as I'm finding, doing my LinkedIn business, understand here's what happened. 90% of the people that need funding don't get it. You know why? Because they got bad credit, they got no collateral, they got no money. So you can't get money. I don't care, all these grants and all, there's the long shots, but the reality is you can't get something from nothing. You got to have something to negotiate with. I don't care if it's a Rolex watch, your uncle's farm, whatever. Then you can get some funding. Short of that, forget it. Now, seeing this dilemma happen time and time again and having to reject people for lending, I realized, man, there's more to this that needs to be developed. And as I'm developing this particular business, and one of the things I want out of this is to create an organization that's going to create income for themselves and me. And I'm going to go buy a plane and fly around and, do some other stuff while I'm still young enough to do it. That being said, I realize what I'm missing is better marketing in today's world. Now, my story started years ago, basically 1999, when I left corporate world and decided to go out and start my own IT consultation business. I was working for AT&T under the Avaya division, selling phone systems and networks. So basically, I helped build this monstrosity known as the internet. I put so much dark fiber in the ground that EPA should be looking for me. That's how much dark fiber I put in the ground. But I digress. Anyway, I started this company with the vision of helping people and teaching them how to make extraordinary incomes with extraordinary effort. And marketing is a skill that's translatable. Selling is a skill that's translatable. And AI integration is something that's relatively easy to sell once you understand why a person would buy it. Okay. So that being said, I focus on those three. So Business Builders Alliance, BBA, that's what we are going to do. I currently have a business with funding, and I use AI agents to get things done. That allows a force of 1 to be a force of 100. Okay? That's what you're going to find out in the education of all this other stuff. Marketing draws people to you. It's easier to sell to people who already know what you sell and want it than it is to try to convince total strangers to buy whatever it is you're trying to sell. That's all marketing is. I'm sending the bat signal out there and I'm waiting for Batman to come on home. All right? Wow, I'm at 8 minutes. Well, that being said, let me stop it here. But plain and simple, I want BBA to be my legacy that, hey, I made a difference. I helped some people get out of the rat race, and with the economy that's about to crash, now's the time to learn new skills because, last year, really 1 million people lost their job. Last month, 350,000 people lost their job just before Christmas. It's chaos and confusion. It's a madhouse out there. So that being said, I want BBA to be the guide on that people can come to, rely on, and pull them out of whatever the situation is, and kick back a little money my way so I can go find my plane. Real simple.